Hi, it's Hannah from the Turner Community Library, and today we're making this beautiful Chinese dragon painting in honor of our summer reading program, Tales and Tales. Here's everything that you'll need to paint this painting. And if you stop by the Turner Community Library, you can get a kit with all of this for free. First off, we have our brushes. We'll be using a 1-inch foam brush, a small round brush, and also a small flat brush. You'll have 3 colors of paint: black, blue, white. A big canvas. This canvas is 20 by 16. It's the biggest one we've ever passed out. You'll also get these papers, which we're going to use to make our misty mountains. And you'll need a few cotton balls for blending and a few toothpicks for the very tiny details like the boat. I want to start off with the dragon because he's at the top and he's going to be the focal point of this painting. And so this part is the most difficult part of the whole painting, so you'll want to practice. I practiced a lot, as you can see. So yeah, make sure you paint it out a few times until you're satisfied with how it looks. I'm going to be copying this one as best as I can on here, but then I'm going to give it a few more loops. I want to show you real quick how we're going to do the scales. So let's say we have dragon's belly right here. Here's the belly. And now for the scales. So I'm just making little, basically C's like this, and I make them in a row. So these ones are all next to each other. But the next row, I'm going to start at the top of one of the C's and connect it to the top of the other C, like this. Oop, there we go. And it's okay if they're not perfect, because there's going to be so many of these scales that you won't be able to tell. Also, you know, it's a dragon. Dragons aren't perfect, just like humans. I'm drawing lines for the belly on the bottom, and then I'm drawing scales on the top. I'm also going to draw more wavy lines coming off the dragon to separate the head from the rest of its body. Now that our dragon is all dry, I'm going to work on the mountains down here. So here's my inspiration for this. So the way it's going to work is we're going to tear the pieces of paper into these like mountain shapes. So you do want like a V shape, but you can definitely make it have different crags and edges, or like this one is more of a plateau. We want want the mountains that are far away to be a lighter color, whereas the ones that are closer will be much darker. Also, as we pull the paint down, we don't want it to go much further down than like the bottom crags. This paper plate is going to serve as my palette. So I'm going to mix a tiny bit of the blue with some of the white. And then also I'm going to make sure that I wet my brush thoroughly because we want this to have a very airy, almost watercolor-like look. As you can see here, I'm taking some of the white and pulling the white up into the mountain to make it phase more into the distance. Later on, I'll also be using the cotton balls, and the cotton balls give it a misty look, and so those are also really good for blending it out. When you get to the point where you want your water to be, go ahead and place a piece of paper down, and then you're going to line the side of the paper up with the side of your canvas to make sure that it's even. And then you'll use dark blue to make the trees go up using your small round brush, or you can use the side of the flat brush if you'd like. Next, you're going to take some of the blue paint and definitely water it down, and you're going to use that to create waves in the water. Now we're going to turn our canvases sideways so that we can paint the reflection of the trees in the water. You're going to want to use a blue that's a little bit lighter than your darkest mountains. Alright, we just have one more tiny thing to do, and that is painting boats. I practiced by painting a couple over here, and so now I'm going to put a very, very tiny boat here, and then of course you're going to want to give it a shadow as well. Since these details are minute, we are going to be using the toothpicks to do them. The only problem with the toothpicks is that sometimes you pick up like a little drop of paint. And so if you're doing a drop of paint, make sure you put it like in the middle of the boat or somewhere where it won't be noticeable, and then you can trace the lines.